I'm a little bit bored, so I'm gonna make this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video, and this is for, I guess you can call it like the retro line that Nickelodeon came out with in 2022, 2023, and you might see a few still floating around in 2024 right now. But it looks like they're pretty much phasing the line out. It came in like 3 waves, I would say. You first had your basic turtles, and then you had the other guys, and then you had the three last characters. These are pretty cool. What I liked most about these was the price point was only $10 a piece. And these had the storage shells, so their shell would open up. And I have every figure here except April O'Neil. She seems to be the hard one to come by because she came in the last wave. So just getting into like the first wave of characters here, you had, Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael. So in this first wave, on the back card here, you only see the first 4 figures that came out, which was just the turtles, basically. And I don't know if they plan to stop there or if they continued to keep going after that. But then you get into some of the cooler figures here. And you have the Foot Soldier, Shredder, what was fun for me for obtaining these ones is like, I didn't have too many of the turtles when I was younger, so I didn't have like Shredder, I didn't have him, and I didn't have the Foot Soldier. I had the turtles, I had Genghis Frog down here, and a couple of the other ones, but things like Shredder and stuff I missed out on. I don't think these figures really have too much value to them. I don't think they'll pick up too much value to them. If you look right now, they're just like overloading the toy aisle with Turtles figures. So it seems like every few years they remake the original kind of Turtles. This time they made them with storage shells. Right now they kind of replace these with the movie Turtles from the movies. That's what's kind of overtaken the pegs. So as far as value, you're not going to get much value out of these. They were cheap to buy, and they're pretty fucking awesome to have. Here's Leatherhead. So on some of these too, they came with, some of them had stickers on the side here. And I looked up what this sticker is because not all the figures have them. It seemed to come out in like the middle wave where there was a sticker on it. And then like, so this was the last wave, they have this sticker on it. But then like, some of them don't have it on it. I'm trying to look real quick. So most of those have it on it, but like, kind of like the early ones didn't have it on it. Anyways, I looked up this sticker, and really what it is like, if I'm correct, this is kind of more like a barcode, sort of. So they can kind of track their sales a little bit better. Like where the figure is going, how many they're making, how many are sold. And this kind of accurately tells them more of like, hey, we should produce more or we should produce less. So there isn't a shitload of them just, you know, sitting on the shelf. But yeah, Leatherhead, I liked getting this one because I don't even remember this figure from when I was little. And then this was from the last wave, Mondo Gecko. So the last wave was April O'Neil, Mondo Gecko, and Ray Fillet. For some reason, I don't remember these two figures either. There's actually a lot of turtles I don't remember. I don't know why. So the problem with these two figures here, as far as collecting, these came out like right at the end, and they weren't getting stocks really of anything else. If they needed more stock, they got in this wave. At first, these were kind of hard to find. People grabbed them up pretty quick, but now you just see a lot of these two characters. And the third character is, of course, April O'Neil. So now what's happening is the last stock that these stores are getting in, you'll often see kind of a lot of these two characters sitting around, and everybody buys the April O'Neil. So she, like, out of this collection, which is here, is all the figures. Out of this collection, April O'Neil is the most rare one, I would say, in my opinion, because I've never seen her in stores, and she just doesn't pop up. People see her and they buy her immediately. If they would have released her like earlier on, I think it would have been a lot better. But the fact that they released her at the end of the line, people are kind of like, there's barely any other figures on the shelf, and they're scooping her up because that's, you know, April O'Neil's kind of like a must-have. Something interesting on the back of these cards. So this is the last version of the card here, which shows all the figures that had been released. And like I showed you with the turtles, there was only, you know, 4 on the back. But there's an interesting, and I'll show all these figures down here in a second. There's an interesting kind of like, I don't know if you would say error or what happened. So here's this, I think this was like the second wave where they introduced a few more. So you can see between that one and that one. Still didn't get to the air one yet. I have to find which one it's actually on. Alright, it's not on the back of Leatherhead. Let's see here. Okay, so we have, who do we have down here? Wingnut and Screw Loose. So I'll show the figure first, and then I'll show the back. So this is also another really cool character, because for some reason I don't remember him either. But pretty awesome character. The barcode on the side there too. All right, so when you look at the back of this one compared to this one here, you see a few more figures introduced, like Genghis Frog, Wingnut, and Screw Loose. But if you look over here, there's Rat King. Rat King never came out. I don't know why. I can't find the reason why he never came out. I don't know if there's prototypes made. I don't know. I looked all over eBay. Nobody has them. Looked in tons of stores. Never seen them before. And then, like I said, when you look at the final version of what was all released, he's not on there at all. They took him off. So it seems like they had a decision to put him out, and they just never did for whatever reason. It seems like I don't know. It seems like they were testing the waters a little bit with this line and seeing what it would do, and maybe they were going to put more characters out and they just quit. I don't know. Maybe they couldn't keep up with the price point or something. I don't know. $10 for a toy these days is extremely cheap. I don't know if you've seen some of these toys, but I just seen like a 3-pack of toys that was going for $70 fucking dollars. And then most of like all the other toys are like $20 a minimum. So, yeah, I think, I don't know. It just, the price point for these for me were just like perfect. But I don't think they were really making too much money on them, to be honest. Yeah, so Rat King just never came out. So that's, I guess if you don't collect this line, that's a little bit of information to tell you. It was just Rat King just disappeared. So Genghis Frog, another kind of cool figure. Him, I actually have the OG version upstairs. Just pretty cool. So again, as you can see on the back, there's Rat King, and he never came out. Krang is another favorite that I never got to have when I was younger. So, like I said, for me, this collection works because a lot of these I didn't have when I was younger. Who else we got? Splinter. Splinter is like, he's very basic, but he's like a must-have, you know what I mean? But yeah, if you look at the back of the card, you can kind of tell the order they came out in. But it, you know, it doesn't really matter that much. It's just the only biggest difference really was that last wave of the Ray Fillet and April O'Neil, really. And then Baxter Stockman over here. Which I have I'm pretty sure I have the OG version of him upstairs as well. But he was always a cool one. So they released really a lot of really cool figures on this line. I don't know how interested people are on seeing the backs of these cards at all. And then I had to put the you know, the dual down here, Bebop and Rocksteady. Which I believe I have the originals upstairs. So I guess you can consider this like the second wave, actually. So maybe there's about 4 waves, really, when you come to think about it. And here's Bebop for the last one. So yeah, pretty cool collection. Not too many of them made, but it just seemed like a really good marketing thing. The prices were really low. Some cool figures, they're cheap. When I'd be toy hunting, kids like these always sold really good. Every time I went in there, these figures were selling really good. They never sat there and peg warmed. They were always like selling. But right at the end there with those last 3 figures, you could kind of tell that they were starting to sit a little bit. But even with the remaining figures they're starting to clear out pretty damn fast. There's still people buying these things. I waited to get Raphael and Michelangelo till last. And I searched for all these in mint condition because that's just the kind of collector I am. But unfortunately, I waited too long and there was no Michelangelos and Raphaels left anywhere. So I finally found a Raphael. It's pretty mint, but the top of the card is kind of bent a little, which isn't that big of a deal. But the only Michelangelo I could find left over had this big crease in the corner. And for me being a mint collector, something like this irritates the hell out of me. But I couldn't find Michelangelo anywhere else. I waited too long. Originally, this was just like so this was just a side project to me because my main focus right now is like He-Man Origins. And so if every once in a while when I would go into the store and they didn't have a He-Man Origin figure that I wanted, after I already drove there, I'd pick up a turtle instead because they were only $10. And then so that kept happening, and then I was like, oh, I got half the line, I might as well just keep getting them. And then eventually I just accumulated all of them except April O'Neil. So still looking for her. I might just end up buying her on eBay just to finish the whole collection, to have all of them, because why have it at 99%? I might as well pay the extra $10 because I think she's only going for $20 right now on eBay. I really think her figure might go up in price a little bit, but she's probably really the only one. I don't know. It's hard to say. But yeah, this is the retro turtles from 2022 to 2023. And a little bit in 2024. So yeah, you could still find a couple of them, but it'll be hard to kind of complete the set. You might have to dive into a few major cities, and you know, Walmart has them, Target has them, Meijer, if you have a Meijers in your location, they have them as well. So I hope people enjoyed the video. I don't know if you will or not. I'm bored and taking video of just random shit at this point.